Hello, another episode of the Halftime Pie. We're back. Have you missed us? If not, then I cannot blame you one bit. It's been a while, but we have some fresh pie. And with me today is Dante's son and Mr. Savage. Hello, boys. Are you okay?
Hi, yeah, good. Hi, yourself. How's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. You guys are okay. I know it's been a bit of a break we've had, but we're back.
I just had a long, much-needed break. Refreshed in the oxygen tank, ready for some more halftime pie.
Oh, I've been in the ice bath. I've just been thawed out.
Oh, have you heard? Like
Yeah.
demolition style?
Demolition Man style, yeah. What's your boggle, Eddie?
I don't. I keep on. I can't use the 3 seashells, so I keep shitting on the floor.
Oh,
It's a common problem.
But
yeah.
to be honest, I did that before the 3 seashells, so I think it's just the hygiene thing.
You've not even got 3 seashells, have you?
No, I've not got one. I don't even think one would help, to be honest. Just some toilet roll.
It must be all that Taco Bell.
Yes, yeah, I think it is. But yeah, I can't get that image out of Savage being defrosted, ready for another halftime pie episode. Dan, have you got any? Have you got any form of cryo chamber that you wake up from, seeing as though that's the latest thing?
No, just an old fridge box.
Standard. You know what? That fits in nicely with like the Salford theme. So yeah, is it rusted? Is it new?
It's outside, so it's a little bit damp, but
Okay.
it's still good.
Good. Well, whatever suits you. I just like to sleep upside down. So
like a bat.
Yes, yeah, like a bat. Yeah, but again with the bowel issues, you know, if you have an accident and you're upside down,
yeah,
double whammy.
Yes, yeah,
that's trickling all the way down, isn't it?
Not good. Some might class it as art, not me though.
Maybe.
Yeah,
people
maybe
pay good money to see that sort of shit.
Literally, yeah, literally. Yeah, this week in the world of football, Christ, there was a lot that went on. FA Cup, Champions League, Harry Kane, the curse continues, and of course, bread and butter, the Premier League. Shall we start there? I think it's been such a long week in football. It seems like Liverpool and Arsenal are back on track.
Yeah, I think the last time we spoke, City might have been third place, trailing on points at the time,
and they're still doing that. They're still in that position now after this weekend's games.
Because of the cup postponements, of course.
Yeah, still got a game to play, but it's even though it's that point advantage that's like, you know, that Arsenal and Liverpool should feel good that they've got back to winning ways, because a lot can happen towards the end of the season. And I think Haaland, he missed the FA Cup game, so I don't know if he's injured. De Bruyne, again, he could get injured at any moment, so it's a fine balance.
You're right. That has swung it a little bit, because after that weekend's games, when Arsenal and Liverpool both lost in the same weekend, didn't they? I can't remember who they played now. Was it?
I think it was
Aston Villa and Crystal Palace.
Yeah, Liverpool lost 1-0 to Crystal Palace, and Arsenal lost that 2-0
that weekend, didn't they?
Yeah.
And after that, it looked like the momentum had swung. But like Eddie said, and people have said back over the years in title runs, you'd rather have the points on the board. It's still Arsenal and Liverpool level, with City only a point behind.
And
but
I think City's got a hard game this Thursday. You know, that game in hand that they're going to catch up on. I think against Brighton, away game, it can be tough.
Yeah, they're a bit of a weird team, Brighton. They can be absolutely dog shit, and then out of nowhere they'll pull a result out. So
yeah.
Do you, Savage? You predicted Arsenal to win the league, and I think maybe if we would have asked this a week ago, it might have been different. Your faith might have been wavering a little
not
bit.
at all.
You're still confident?
Still confident. I think Arsenal will snatch it. I really do. I think it is their season. I think I think that Liverpool won't get it. I think they're going to fall. I mean, City will probably finish second, but I do think Arsenal will win the league.
Yeah, I think with I don't know. I've just got a feeling this season that all three teams at the top, even though they've got very good points, I feel like there's no outstanding one among them. It's just one of those. It's very competitive, but it seems like any team could look like they could falter at any moment, whether it's pressure or injuries. So it's unpredictable. So from a neutral's perspective, it's still all to play for.
Do you think one more slip up for any of these teams puts them out of it? I mean, City have got a game in hand, so in theory they could lose one and still only be a point behind. But assuming that sort of taking that one in hand out of consideration, if there's enough of a swing where it ends up being one game's worth of points away from the leaders, do you think that's it? The others won't drop enough points to let you get a chance to come back.
It's weird because last week I think the feeling was that both Liverpool and Arsenal had thrown it, and that well, right, that's it now. And then 1 week later, that I think everyone's a little more positive. So I think maybe at this stage now, you've got a win back on the board. It's coming down to the point, 5 games left, where any points dropped are going to be such a big blow. So I think maybe at this point, definitely. But yeah,
making it
again,
exciting.
I don't know which way it's going to go.
Making it really exciting, especially for someone who's outside of it now. Like United, like a neutral. Yeah,
it does, because it's been a bit. There's been a couple that have been close in recent years, but also there's been a few where you knew what was going to happen a long way from the end of the season, and that makes it a little bit tedious, doesn't it? Especially when you're not involved in it.
And do you guys think that that's an improvement to the teams of Liverpool and Arsenal, or do you think City, are just getting a bit complacent after last season?
I think complacent, if I'm honest. I know it's harsh, but I don't think Liverpool this season have been great.
No.
I don't think they've been at the levels that they've been at in previous recent years, have they?
Yeah, Arsenal have been fairly consistent, but still there's question marks over whether they can get anything over the line.
Are you still expecting Liverpool to win it?
That's a good question. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that recently, I know they got a win on the board against was it Bournemouth? I can't remember. But they've got a win. So, but I think
it was Fulham.
Fulham, that's it. Lower half of the country, so fairly accurate.
The next game's Everton away, but I think Everton have got a notoriously bad record against Liverpool.
Oh, and Everton, I think they're not safe, but
they're in the right direction. Yeah, they've got a bit of leeway there for them.
That if we just focus on the bottom of the table for a minute, that bottom 4, 5, I don't even know what to do with Forest, Luton, Burnley, Everton, with all these points deductions. Because again, going back to a final day decider, you could get a ticker at the bottom of the screen, 91st minute. So and so's been deducted 3 points.
Oh, they might have had some added back on.
Yeah, you don't know, do you?
No.
It's
but with that in mind about point deductions, what happens with then the appeals at the end of the season? Does that just completely change? Will we not know who's going to be relegated? Because obviously these clubs might appeal, and then those points might go back on top. Do we then get are we getting a straight answer on who's going to be relegated at the end of the
I'm
season?
not actually sure. You wouldn't think that they'd want a situation where there could be changes after the end of the season has happened, but we already know that points deductions can be reduced because Everton's deduction
Yeah,
got reduced earlier this season. So I'm not sure if there is an appeal
because
process that could drag on past the end of the
because
season, and then they might say, hang on a minute, we didn't actually go down because we had 6 more points than it looked like on the table or whatever.
Don't know how you can let it go past the end of the season. If I'm honest, you can't, because from like a fan's perspective as well. Like,
You
what
need
do
to
you?
know where the
Yeah,
goalposts are, don't you,
you
going
need
into
clarity.
these things. You can't, on the last day, have what you have on every last day, where it's sort of, like you said, coverage of all the games. This might happen. Oh, someone's gone one up. We're down at the moment. We've gone one up. We're up again. And then once that's all over with, 6 weeks later, come out and say, oh, hang on, we've decided we're going to change the table again. So none of you finished where it said you did. We've done this instead.
Yeah.
I don't think you can have that.
no, I think that's really, really a bad way for.
It's poor. It's poor on the Premier League, to be honest.
It is. It looks really unprofessional, doesn't it? I think we said it a few weeks back. They should have done this between seasons. If you want to deduct points, wait till the season's over, deduct points, and next year you start on -6 or -10 or whatever it might have been.
I've never remember like any time recently points being deducted in the Premier League.
This is the
No.
first.
During the middle of the season. I know in Italy it happens every week.
Yeah.
I mean, like Juventus went from like 2nd to 16th or something daft. But yeah, it's just a little alien. I don't like it.
I think it's happened before, but like you said, not in anything like recent times. Maybe in the early 90s, there was a couple of teams had some points deductions, 1 or 2 points each.
I think
But in the last 20 odd years, I can't remember this happening.
I can't.
Certainly not mid-season.
What do you make of Nottingham Forest's tweet then about VAR? So I know that they've got a lot going on at the moment, haven't they? With points deductions and being towards the bottom of the table. Now they've been embroiled in a bit of a controversy. I don't know what was going through their heads tweeting that out, to be honest.
I think it's a little bit of a funny thing to do. Personally, I think it's probably, I wouldn't be surprised if the chairman is signed into that Twitter account on his phone. I honestly wouldn't. And it's just
I'm all for that, by the way. I think every chairman should
I agree.
have access to the Twitter accounts.
I wouldn't be. It's happened before with some sort of sporting clubs or organisations tied around sport. I don't know if anyone watches Formula One, but I remember the guy who was sponsoring Haas at the time of Rich Energy. He was a bit like this. And you do get some gold out of it because it takes a rush of blood or someone being emotional after a game like that to just lose it a bit and put something a bit crazy out there. But
that's being human, though, isn't it? That's what you want to see.
Rather than a corporate message that someone's drafted.
Exactly. Yeah. It's as if they're punishing anyone within football for showing any form of emotion, whether it be in taking your shirt off, you get booked.
Yeah.
You shout at the referee. Not necessarily being abusive.
No, well, this is the thing, isn't it? Even questioning them is enough to get you in trouble. You don't need to be disrespectful. If you just say his performance wasn't good, that's enough to. You're probably going to get a fine at least for that if you're a manager. And the stakes are so high these days. Like you said, Forest could go down. I mean, the stakes have always been high, but there's that much money now in the game, and especially you'll lose that much money for a relegation. That when you see decisions like those being made against your club just to sort of not keep anyone in suspense, I thought that 2 of them were nailed on. The third one I thought was an absolute stonewall penalty. He went straight through the back of him and didn't touch the ball. I know that it's a contact sport and not all contacts are foul, but that was. The first one, it was a bit softer, but probably 80% of the time these days they get given. The handball, I always don't like seeing handballs get given when it's close and it gets fired at you, and that one was fairly close, but the rules say if your hand's in a natural position it's a penalty, so by the letter of the law, probably these days should have been given. So all three of those, the refs not given, the VAR hasn't told him to look at it, and then that's caused a controversy because the referee, I don't think they just accused him of being a Luton fan. I think he's actually a Luton fan. I think he's said this
Yeah,
before. But
yeah.
when the
Just
stakes are that high and there's no, if you criticise the ref, you get in trouble. What can you do?
Just one more thing before we go on, one scenario which may have not been thought of about the top of the league. What if all teams finish on the same points? At the moment, Arsenal are on top level goal difference around. They would win it.
I think if that happens, that it should automatically go to 7th place.
At the rate this is going, that could still be just on.
Yeah, maybe 14th. So anyway, let's talk about the Champions League this week. And I think it was a mint week of Champions League football. I think you just every game now it's like a blockbuster. So the City Madrid game went to penalties, and I think against my better judgment, I thought that City would win, but yeah, on penalties, Madrid ended up winning, and then the other game, again a bit of a free for all in the Barca PSG game. PSG ended up coming through. Xavi got sent off. Rafinha got sent off. One of the scouts got sent off. Chaos.
I was surprised to see that result because I just expected it could still happen because there's still one more game before the final, or two more of the two legs, obviously. But I just expected PSG to throw it away somehow, but convincing win in the end.
Yeah, they will at some point. It's going to happen. They've got it in them, aren't they? But that City Madrid game towards the end of like extra time and even normal time, it seemed like Madrid were just getting battered, and it was a siege.
They were.
Yeah, I agree.
It was.
I think outside the goal,
shot.
it looked like they were under pressure pretty much most all of the game.
Yeah. They were on the back burner. Defensively, Madrid were doing well. Rudiger was outstanding, in my opinion, in that game. The amount of times he kind of blocked the shots, or one of the examples was Grealish. He just did enough to really distract Grealish and side netting. So I think
did he wave some beer at him?
He waved some beer, but one interesting thing I did read today is that there was footage of Rudiger twisting Grealish's nipple whilst defending.
Well played. That's old school. If Gaza can grab someone's bollocks, then that's nothing.
There you go. But I'm so happy that Madrid went through. Hala Madrid, Hala Madrid. I love it. It's things you love to see.
I am still backing City to win the league, but I didn't want to see a double treble with 115 charges pending. So this has just saved us all from that misery.
Like a fucking darts match, double treble. What other games were on there? So Dortmund went through, didn't they?
Yeah.
And Bayern and Arsenal, yeah. Arsenal was level after the first leg and ended up getting beat 1-0 and going out in the second.
Kane could still get a trophy.
Kane could still get a trophy. Yeah, it's on. With those teams left now, I think that as the draw come out, that it's Real Madrid Bayern already. That was
that is
decided, and it's PSG Dortmund.
Yeah.
So with that set up for the semis, how do you see those going? Who do you think will get through to the final?
I think it's got to be Madrid and PSG in the final, which is weird considering Mbappe is going to be playing for them next season.
Yeah.
I think I agree. I think that's the what I'd go with. I think that Madrid have got to be the favourites now, and I think that they'll likely win it again. Is it the 17th time or something?
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous at this point. I
It
think
is.
they just seem to. Like I was saying this probably about 7 years ago when they were winning, when they didn't look like they were that good. Like they'd have Ronaldo there and Ramos. They'd manage to pull results out if they weren't playing well. It's like they've got some kind of, I don't know. It's like a reverse curse on them, isn't it? They just manage to see.
Just can't go wrong. Was it three in a row they won? It wasn't 4, was it?
I think it was 3.
It was Zidane.
But
I'm sure Ronaldo had.
Like you said, there'd been times when he'd had good squads before and they'd not done it. And then I don't think that anyone had really defended the Champions League in recent times. It had been done when it was the European Cup, but then for them to do it 3 in a row, they already had a lot of them already. That was just an unbelievable spell for them.
I don't know, looking at their squad as well, I don't follow Madrid that closely, but I still think there's room for improvement in that squad. Maybe if you're looking at defensively, I know that they've signed a lot of young players as well, like Chimene,
Camavinga,
Bellingham in midfield, and then up front you've got Rodrigo, Vinicius,
and Mbappe's on his way.
Mbappe, that is just going to be terrifying.
They're setting themselves up for another 10-year period.
Is it return of the Galacticos, you think?
It seems a little bit like it, doesn't it, at the moment, especially reeling off those forward players and midfield players. Like you said, if they can build on the defence over the next couple of seasons, it looks like they might take some stopping in everything.
And do you think Modric will survive? Seems to be.
I don't know why you'd consider getting rid of him. Well,
he might retire, but he won't die.
I wouldn't let him as long as he does survive and he's still alive. I'd keep him in the squad for the next season or 2 at least, even if you don't play him every game. Just because I think, again, being a United fan, seeing when players leave, even if that player doesn't play all the time, if they're a big presence, a big influence, you still miss them when they're not there. I think after Keane left, I think more so maybe after Rooney left, United really missed his sort of drive and his influence on the players. And I think Modric been there, done that, played in every competition and won them all.
Been there a long time, hasn't he?
He has been there a long time. Yeah, it's
11 years
since he was at Spurs. Yeah, exactly.
Wasn't he like 27 when he signed for Madrid as well?
Really?
Like he wasn't
a youngster. Yeah, no.
It's crazy.
He was an established sort of name when they bought him. He was one of Spurs' stars at the time, wasn't he? And
he was.
Took it to another level since he left to go there.
And somewhere Harry Redknapp's nodding, going, "You're welcome."
They missed out on Nico Cranchar. That's the one they should have taken.
Oh, they would have had to pry him from his cold, dead hands.
Imagine that. It would have been not Modric, it was Cranchar at Real Madrid.
Yakubu, who else?
One man only, one way back.
Yeah, definitely some money laundering going on there.
Just to call out another Madrid player I thought deserved some praise, the goalkeeper. Lunin, I think he's the third choice keeper, and he was immense in both games. And I watched, they played Barcelona that weekend, Real Madrid did, and he was good in that game as well. I think Madrid won 3-2 with 2 penalties in that one as well. But the keeper was on standout, considering he's not got the sort of the expectations or the sort of reputation that he's got to keep up. He's just come in and asked to cover. The others might have a job getting him out.
What do you make of that? Speaking of Lunin, what do you think of that Bernardo Silva penalty? Like, if it comes off, like you look pretty smooth, but
if it doesn't,
you look awful.
Yeah.
Someone else did it. Who else did it a couple of days? Because Casemiro done the same thing. Yeah. Like you said, if it works, you look like a genius and Mr. Confident. I'd rather you just put it in one of the corners, and if the keeper saves that, I won't hold it against you because he's got right in the bottom corner to get to it. If you chip it into his hands, though, I'm a bit more like, you shouldn't do that.
Do you know, statistically, you're more likely to score if you shoot down the middle. So, and that's
Keeper jump
what,
out of the way.
yeah, and I think that's for keepers. So oh no, sorry, other way around. If you're a keeper, if you stay down the middle, you're more likely to save it. But keepers rarely stay down the middle just because they don't want to look stupid.
Yeah, I sort of get that if you same sort of thing. If you're a keeper and you stand in the middle and he puts it to one of the sides, that makes you look daft. Where if the keeper stays still and you chip it into his hands, I still think that's worse. I can accept my keeper standing still in the middle of the net more than I can accept my penalty taker chipping it into his chest.
Yeah.
Do you know I played Sunday League football once in net, and I was really hungover. Like I was still pissed, I think, and my brother asked me, like, as an emergency, will you come and cover for our keeper? He's can't play. So turned up, and I think I gave a penalty away within like the first 5 minutes. Pissed, just absolute state. And then like he goes to take the penalty, and I stood still, and he tried dinking it, and I saved it. But I don't think that was like a conscious thing from me. I think I was literally just too hungover to move. So
Maybe Lou.
yeah.
Maybe
It did have its upsides on that occasion.
it did.
Perfectly prepared for the game.
Well, that's it. So if you're listening to this, Goalkeepers Union, get a few drinks down. You get a few shots in you before the penalty shootout. I think you get about 5 minute break. Like I think bitter would be quite a good thing to drink. A couple of pints of bitter, and I think you'll see your save conversion rate going up. Shall we talk about the FA Cup? How can we not? And I think you can only start one place at Wembley, because that's where both games were played. Idiot. And Coventry versus United. But, I think on this one, I think this one's a bit raw because we are United fans and we are severely emotionally damaged throughout this season. And I think this summed it up. I think for me, the way it went was just typical United.
I'm getting numb to it now. Yeah, it was the hollowest of hollow victories, going 3-0 up to 3-0 to beat Coventry on penalties. I'm just sort of numb to it now. If we'd have gone out, I wouldn't have been that disappointed, to be honest with you. It's like, what's it set up for as a final against City that
Lamb to the slaughter?
Realistically, there's not much chance that we're going to win. So,
did you see that picture of Højlund celebrating? And when he turns around, he can see all the team kind of deflated. Like, this is.
Can I just shout out at Anthony for being a little
oh
prick?
Yeah, my days.
Where that shows the level of like self-awareness that he's got, that he thinks giving it the big one to a league lower level opposition who've just you've just got away with one there, haven't they? The footballer meant so.
Cup in his ears, wasn't it?
Just, I think the rest of them as well. Harry Maguire, for as much shit as I used to give him, I think he's really stepped up.
He had a few moments in that game. There was one in particular who went on a marauding run all the way to the goal line and tried to shoot from like the corner of the 6-yard box. Yeah, I agree. Sort of, he stepped up as well.
I think he went and shook the Coventry players' hands at full time, straight after the whistle, which is the right thing to do. And I think it's the only thing
after that.
You don't celebrate after that. I know Højlund scored the winning goal and he's a bit young and naive, but fuck's sake, it's Coventry. Like, he should be embarrassed.
I like Højlund because he seems like he loves scoring goals, and I think he'll celebrate like that if it's the 8th goal in an 8-0. I don't think you can stop him if he scores.
He's a striker, isn't he? At the end of the
day, him with himself. But yeah,
if he's got a kid and he scores against him in the backyard, just runs up to his face screaming.
Like Michael Owen in that video, who was it against when he was like 18 and he was playing against a 10-year-old in that?
Yeah, I remember that. Neville Southall's disgusted.
But yeah, I felt sad for the Coventry fans in the end.
They did well to get
and
back
some
to
of the players.
It really
They
did.
did,
I was
and
shocked
especially
when
how
that
devastating
was
it must have
offside.
been that last one was offside when it was so
Yeah.
close. I do think that it was offside in the end.
It
But
was.
Let me ask you a question as United fans. Have you ever felt worse after winning a game?
not that I can remember. I
No.
said to my missus afterwards, a couple of hours later, I said, it feels like we got knocked out of that game.
Yeah.
It really did. It didn't feel like there was nothing to be like upbeat about.
That's it.
We threw away a lead. We looked dreadful all the way through, and we went through on penalties
Yeah.
against a lower league team.
The thing
Where's
is, I
the
think
upside?
what's coming next, and it's like
I think even by United standards, that was next level, like just complacency. 3-0 up. It never even popped into my mind that we might let it slip. I thought it's only going in one direction
3-0 up at
now.
72nd minute.
To throw that away is just
Yeah.
that's on the players, the manager, who I think I'm now more like Ten Hag.
Out.
Go now.
Has this changed your mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think him like the players, they need to be.
Look at
ashamed of
Onana.
themselves.
Look at Onana taking the
But him-
piss. You don't do that as a goalkeeper. I thought you just don't mess around. And I think
Oh, I liked it. I thought he
didn't.
had every right.
Oh, I didn't like that,
did.
mate. For me.
What was that for? Like when he got booked?
Yeah, I was saying at the time, I think that you can be too nice, and I know it's Coventry and whatever, but none of our team have done that against anyone. It seems like we've got no sort of smarts of how to run the clock, or shithousery to get you to the end of a game if you're up.
I do get that.
So
I do get it, but
I said I don't care. I'm glad if he bends down and ties his lace at a minute. Fair play to him.
I think he was
The
running
referee's
the risk.
realistically never second yellow card a keeper for time wasting anyway, so it's worth it.
I don't know what's going like. I know we're going to focus on the FA Cup, but I think for United for the rest of the season, they've got severe injury problems at the back. I think Maguire's groin is gone. He's playing with basically one leg.
He's gone on his end of season holiday already. Maguire's groin.
Back to greasy goals.
So we have no fit centre backs.
No.
No fit left backs.
It'll be Casemiro and McTominay in the next game.
And
Jesus
you think
Christ.
that the final is going to be? Oh my days!
It's not even like earlier on in the season we was in a similar position, and at that time we played Luke Shaw, but in centre back, but he's injured as well.
A lad at work,
and so's Malacia.
a lad at work said, "Oh yeah, don't worry, it's a final. These type of things, United could get lucky." And I just think back to last year,
Copy and paste it, and
Can we last
it'll be worse.
26 seconds before we concede a goal this season?
Yeah,
in the final.
there you go. Yeah,
this is the level of sort of achievement we're looking at, isn't it? It's disappointing.
Can I give a shout out to Jim Ratcliffe for running the marathon?
Oh yeah,
71,
and then go into the game.
Yeah,
and I don't know if he can play centre back. He's pretty tall.
Oh, he's got the height there.
Yeah,
it might be worth considering.
But I think he looked more knackered.
He did
during the game than he did running the marathon.
But
I don't think he knows what he's got himself into. Fine United.
I think he was right next to him. Was it Joel Glazer? Or...
That probably doesn't help either.
Avram Glazer was there. Yeah, he's the looker of the two. Scruffy bastard.
That's nothing to write home about. It's not something you should brag too much about, that is it?
No, handsome Avram Glazer.
So on the other cup semi, City Chelsea. What did you think of that game? I thought that Chelsea made loads of chances, but they just can't score any goals.
Just can't finish.
They look quite hard to score past, to be fair, a lot of the time. But...
Again, their best player had to be Cole Palmer. He was driving the team forward, from what I could see. Literally driving them.
Jackson was doing his best to ruin any chances that they had. I'm sure he's like XG when he gets through on goal with the keeper is like 0. He's
as
not
soon
good.
As he gets the ball, the opposition defender should start tracking him and just go and wait for the keeper to take the goal kick.
Go up and take like an attacking position somewhere.
You might as well, because it's like Savage said, it's true. He couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
can't.
It's what it looks like. I know it can be a confidence thing, but I said to you guys after that game, when Chelsea was looking for a replacement for Timo Werner, I don't think they said to the scouts, "Go and find me another forward who can't score any goals." And they came back with Nicholas Jackson, but that's what they've done.
Where did he come from anyway? Which team did he play for?
I can't remember. Was it somewhere in France?
Villarreal, it was.
Oh, was
Oh,
it?
right, okay.
Yeah.
What
Do you
was his
know what the
goals
weird
on
thing is
with them?
now? Like Dominic Solanke at Bournemouth was let go by Chelsea, was it? I think he was at Chelsea.
It's nuts that though. Chelsea, I think Chelsea could be the only club who could claim to have spent money worse than United have. And then when they've had these players there, look at, like you said, who they've let go. De Bruyne, Salah.
Oh, don't look at it.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Rudiger, Courtois.
Yeah, Rudiger.
It's crazy. But our benefactor, Bodtola, I think there's a lot to be said there. The questions are being asked at both Chelsea and the halftime pies. So, shall we check in with our friend, our old friend? Not spoke to him for a couple of weeks, so hopefully we can get our old friend Jimmy Muir on the phone.
Has he survived that forearm toss ripping from weeks ago?
I think, yeah, he survived. Well, what shape he's in, I don't know. A torso, I'd imagine.
You can't keep a good man down, Savage, especially not a good Sheffield United captain.
You can't, can you? Hey, there he is, the big man. So, yeah, we'll keep this one brief, Mr. Muir, as I know you're a very busy man. You're wired up to many machines being rebuilt. So I'll just ask you a couple of things. I'd like to get your thoughts as a professional on what you made of the incident at Stamford Bridge the other day, where players were fighting over a penalty. What are your thoughts on penalty takers during the 90 minutes?
The man who passes the sentence should swing the sword.
Oh, interesting there. So you're very much of the opinion that whoever goes down should take the penalty. Fair enough. What about Sheffield United? It's not looking good. 16 points on the board. I think the only hope you have really is of other teams getting deductions. What do you think?
It is long since we had any hope.
Oh God, he sounds in despair.
Sorry. He is. To be honest, he sounds a lot more chipper this week.
Considering what's been happening, yeah.
It's probably the morphine, that.
Oh.
That's it. He'll be off his tits. And just another quick one. I know that off recording, Savage was telling us about how you used to go out drinking with him and how you don't anymore. I just want to know why that is.
That old bastard drinks my wine and never pays.
Oh, Jimmy, come on now. Come on. I pay for my fair share of drinks with you, Jimmy. You bastard.
Is this true?
Bastard, you, Jimmy. I swear. This is not true. This is blasphemy. This guy never paid for a drink in his life, the bastard. And he has the cheek to say that to me. Hope they fucking go down, Jimmy. Sheffield United.
Brutal, absolutely brutal. It saddens me that you don't go to Wetherspoons with him anymore, Savage.
He put a bottle over my head. What do you expect?
He bottled
me. Bottled me. Sensitive care.
Maybe you
This is Jimmy Muir. What did you expect?
I just said I'm a United fan, and there you go.
That's how he greets people.
Oh, was it? Oh, shit.
It's a term of endearment. Well, not a term, but an action of endearment.
Is that what it's
if he bottles
like
you over
in
the
Sheffield? Is that how it goes?
Due to not wanting to lose any potential listeners, no, it's not.
Oh, sorry about that. If I've offended anyone in Sheffield, I apologise.
But that's how Jimmy Muir does it. And if he really likes you, he'll shank you.
Oh shit! He don't like me then.
So yeah. I think I've lost quite a lot of blood, so we built up quite the
Oh.
rapport. So what I'd like to do next, lads, is just give you a bit of bad news. Unfortunately, due to budget restrictions here at the Halftime Pie, Mr. Bodtoley has refused access for Harry Redknapp to be on the show.
Oh.
Oh, you're joking?
How?
Yep,
What?
yep.
So
Yeah,
no
I
more
know, it's disgusting.
Harry Redknapp. Have we lost him for
Does
good?
this mean I won't have a chance to catch up to Savage in the quiz?
No. See, we've had to be a little bit creative
Okay.
here on the Halftime Pie. Look at what
Okay.
is within our budget, what we can scrimp and scrape around for. So we've got a bit of a new treat for you. I think we'll look to do this over the next coming episodes and see what works. But yeah, we'll start off by introducing the section, which is called ChatGPT Get Banged.
Interesting title.
I'll give you an overview around how this works and what the hell's going on. So, if you're familiar with ChatGPT, you can basically put any prompt into it and it will generate what you need. So, if you want to put in asking for a fictional screenplay, it will generate it in great detail. And what we're going to try and do is rewrite history a little bit with some players that you may be familiar with, some that you might not be, and change their career paths. And from there, I'm going to ask the guys 3 questions on those careers. And yeah, we'll see if they get the right answers. So there will still be points to be won.
Remember, Dan, it's 4-1 to me.
This could change, though. This could change it all. If by changing game, it could mean the resurgence is on.
It could.
So
Let's see.
you didn't research, Dan, all those injuries then from the last quiz?
No, I forgot.
You didn't waste your time, did you?
Let's hope not.
Thankfully, you didn't.
Silence means he didn't.
So what I'd like to do now is we're going to start off with you, Savage, and then I think we've got a bit of a treat for Dan. But this one should still be pretty good anyway. So what we did here was we asked wonderful AI technology to see how the career of Alan Shearer would be if he signed for Manchester United in 1994.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
So we're going to ask you a few questions, and this is his career was from the season 94-95 all the way through to 2005, 2006. So in total, 12 seasons at Manchester United. So just picture that in your head. A world with Alan Shearer at Manchester United. So I'll start off by asking you, Mr. Savage, during those 12 seasons at Manchester United, how many times did he win the Premier League? Was it A, 7 times, B, 8 times, or C, 11 times?
Thinking about during that period as well, especially the latter half of his career at United, that early 2000s, there was.
I will say that this reality is different. So, if you think of the times they did win it, it's not going to be the same.
I'm just thinking of the other teams around that era as well. If they still had the same players, or is that not taken into account, that sort of thing?
It's not. Okay. No, it's only how Shearer would have impacted United.
Okay.
So A7, B8, or C11.
I'm gonna go B8. Go down the middle.
Go B,
down the middle.
8. Wrong.
Oh.
So he won it 7 times at United.
Okay.
Give you an idea of when he won them. His first season, he finished in 2nd place. Second in the 95-96 season, he won it. won it the season after that. And then
that.
97-98, second place. And then he won it in 99, 2000, 2001, finished second. And then won it, I think, 3 more times after that. So, yeah, seven times. So, interesting. So, question 2. How many times did he win the Champions League in his 12 seasons at United? So, was it A, 4, B, 2, or C, 0?
I'm going to go B2.
He's won twice. I'm afraid you're wrong.
This is tough.
They didn't win it once.
Whoa, okay.
So if you cast your mind back to that treble winning season.
So he didn't win it in that famous 99 treble.
No,
we didn't have the treble.
He won the Premier League. He won the FA Cup, but he finished runner-up in the Champions League. So
interesting.
What was it due to the York-Cole partnership never existing?
Maybe.
It could be the Sheringham header down to Solskjaer never happened.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. Solskjaer ends up playing at Spurs. So yeah, not a great start this south, which will be music to Dan's.
I know it will be.
So we'll look at the final question. So he was a prolific goal scorer across his career for Newcastle and Blackburn, but for United from that 94-95 season, how many league goals did he score until his final season in 05-06? Was it A, 247, B, 301, or C, 365?
Ooh.
And these are league
goals. Okay. Why not? I'm going to go down the middle. B.
You're wrong. You're wrong there.
Shit.
You've got the perfect shit
I
hat trick.
have.
So
welcome to my world,
Dance's
son's in disbelief.
I can't believe it myself. That is hard.
It was C. 365 league goals for Manchester United.
I'm just looking at his real career stats. His total goals, career league goals, was 260.
400
in real life.
So in his lowest scoring season in 97-98, he scored 28 league goals.
Oh my day.
I was thinking it's interesting because those seasons, I don't know about the first one, but 97-98, Arsenal won the league, really. And Alan Shearer didn't win it in this scenario. But then, like you said, the next season, it turned out not to be a treble. You just automatically think everything they would have done better if Shearer had joined, but maybe ChatGPT's wisdom tells us otherwise.
What's interesting is, his lowest goal scoring season was his final one. Sorry, so I missed that one. That's 25 goals in his final season.
Okay.
All the pace of a tank.
And how old was it?
Goals. So, how old would he have been now? About 35, I think. So it's not bad. But if you look at it towards the end of his career, and if you look at United during that period, so like the 03-04 season, they finished, I think it was third. They actually won it in this one. And they won it the next season as well when Mourinho came in. So, yeah, something...
Swings and roundabouts.
Yeah. So, right, on to the next one then.
Good luck, Dan. Not more.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get this.
So this one, I think it's going to be a subject close to your heart. We asked our AI friends at ChatGPT, we are willing to accept sponsorship as well. We asked to create a career of a player called Jimmy Muir
Okay.
from the 24-25 season, which is next season, where Sheffield United will be in the Championship. We asked to plot his career over the next few years, see what his movement would be, and also, interestingly enough, his injury record. So, question 1, Dan. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
One question is all you need to get right. So, very much in your favour. So, question 1. In his first season in the Championship, he missed 25 games through injury, and one injury forced him to miss 7 games. But what was the injury? Was it A, trampled by cavalry? Was it B, a broken arm from falling debris? Or was it C, a musket ball? Oh, composure, please. A musket ball wound to the shoulder. Which of those injuries forced him to miss 7 games?
I'm ruling out the broken arm.
You
Are you
are.
ready? Yeah, I think that knowing Jimmy Muir's past work, I think that seems a bit vanilla
That's
for him.
nothing to him. That is nothing.
I was leaning towards trampled by cavalry until you threw the musket wound in there, and then that seems like the favourite. So I'll go with the musket ball wound
You're going
to
musket
the shoulder. Did you say?
I did, yeah.
That sounds reasonable. 7 weeks.
So, I'm afraid you're wrong.
Oh, you're joking.
You're wrong. Oh no, which is crazy. So he's had his arms ripped off previously, as you're probably aware of, and the broken arm from falling debris caused him to miss 7 games.
Oh,
So.
I thought it was going to be like tough defending in the Championship. No.
You know what he gets up to outside of the game. Like, he's just on another level. So, yeah, there'll be no scraped knees or
that's one
Achilles strains.
missed opportunity for me. Let's see what we've got next.
Yeah, that's it. So, next one. So, just on that season as well, I can give you a few statistics. He was named Player of the Season. He got 12 goals, and Sheffield United finished in 5th place. So, on to the next question then.
That's a playoff position, is it not?
I think it might be.
It is. It didn't say anything about promotion, though, so I take it that the broken arm from falling debris happened quite close to the end of the season.
That would explain it.
Yep. So, right, on to his next season in the world of Jimmy Muir. So, in his second season, in 25-26, he got a big move to a Premier League club for £40 million. But who signed him? Was it A, West Ham United, B, Luton Town, or C, Man United?
Jimmy Muir's not going to go down south. It must be Man United just by that logic alone. The chippies down south don't sell gravy. There's no way he'll go down south. He's not going to Luton and he's not going to West Ham.
He wouldn't survive, would he?
No, he's come to United for 40 million, which is a bargain, let me tell you.
That's got to be it. That's got to be it.
You remember in that film Universal Soldier where they go and sit in a tub of ice? Like, he does that with gravy.
That's like when we were saying Savage and his Demolition Man getting thawed out. This is Jimmy Muir has a similar setup for recuperation between injuries.
That's
and
it.
That Bisto best.
That's right, the Bisto best in a gravy bath.
What kettle on, love? I'm going in tub. Get that gravy boiled.
Put us out of our misery. Was it United that he went to?
It was.
Yes.
I
told you, he's no way. And I bet you that was the reason he wouldn't go down south, because the chippies are no good.
That, and United saw a heavily injury-prone Englishman for a ridiculous fee. You know, he was in the Championship, and you paid 40 million for him. Yeah, that's Man United. So the logic works out, doesn't it, from both sides? So, yeah, congratulations, Dan. You've already won.
Yes.
Just a little bit on that season. So he ended up winning the FA Cup and got 18 goals. And
Did he captain United as well, do you know? Or did they take the captaincy off him once he left Sheffield?
So, no, he didn't. There's no mention of him being captain, which I think he'd be absolutely fuming
battle
at.
between him
I
and
do
Keane.
too. We could do with some of that mentality in the dressing room now.
Exactly. Yeah. This guy would play through anything. But he finished third in the league, and again another injury-ravaged season. Just give you a little bit of an overview on some of the things that kept him out that season. He was impaled through the shoulder by a lance, blinded by smoke from a burning ship. He got some broken ribs from a fall off a barricade, a concussion from a cannon blast. Concussion, fucking hell! Like, you're lucky if you can feel the concussion. And then he had a severed tendon in his hand from a sword clash. So
a sword clash. I bet you he still played more games than Tony Marshall that year.
Yeah, of course he did. So yeah. So his career is. He's sad to leave Sheffield United, but he's got silverware and a concussion from a cannon blast.
I feel like, as well as like trophies and like a silverware in terms of medals, he needs some sort of like military recognition for these injuries.
Yeah, St. George's Cross or something.
He's like, do you know what he's like? He's like Jupiter is in the solar system. He just saves all the other planets from getting destroyed.
Take one for the team over and over again in every game by the sound of it.
Yeah. Oh, God. Right.
I want to see the highlight reel of his career now.
Oh, there must be some on YouTube.
Blinded by smoke from a burning ship. I'm intrigued.
And we will be uploading this to the Halftime Pie Facebook group as well, if you want to check it out there, along with Shearer's fictional season. This one though is potentially going to happen because you can't rule anything out with Jimmy. But anyway, question 3. So we're moving on to the following season after that. So he didn't stay long at United.
No.
The following season, he became a Galactico.
You're joking?
No, he signed for Real Madrid for £80 million.
He must have had a prolific season.
He did well. He did really well. So he must have. What's the Spanish equivalent of gravy out there? La Gravia or some bollocks.
I don't know, but I'll guarantee that was the first thing you learned. The first phrasing that he asked for.
Fucking hell, yeah. And Madrid changed their shirt sponsor to Bisto. So, yeah, he signed for 80 million, but again had another injury-ravaged season. So he suffered a stab wound to the abdomen during a skirmish. Standard. Trampled by horses again, in a cavalry charge. Fucking hell. Shrapnel to the leg again. Concussion from artillery fire. Severe burns from a gunpowder explosion. Sounds like friendly fire, that to me. But
I'm surprised he didn't get trampled by a bull.
A bull? Oh, that must be what the cavalry is. The running of the bull.
Getting involved in the local culture. Yeah. That's our Jimmy.
Instead of the bull charging at them, he's charging at the bull. Oh, God. Yeah, that's how he was unveiled, like on TikTok. Anyway, so Madrid have got a long gloried history in the Champions League, but how did they get on in his first season? So were they A, the winner, B, did they get to the final, or C, injured during every game?
I'll go C, injured in every game.
So he's going C.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately, it's B.
Oh,
he got through to the Champions League final. Yep. got through to the
He got to the
final.
final and lost. I can't believe that. That's why I went injured in every game, because like I could understand Sheffield United going down this season because he's not been fit enough to contribute to keep him up. So I thought if he'd have played, they'd definitely have won.
So I like to think, or I don't like to think again that the reason they didn't win was due to the stab wound to the abdomen. Missed 9 games with that, which is a big one for Jimmy. That's the biggest. That's the biggest period out of his career so far. 9 games.
More than the Lance wounds.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. He's weird. He's got a weird body. But yeah, congratulations, Dan. You've got a point on the board.
I've got 1 out of 3 and 1-0.
It's 4-2 now.
That's it.
Comeback's on.
It is on, and so we've got an extra bonus season for Jimmy Muir.
Oh.
So this isn't for any points or anything. It's literally just for knowledge, and that's the greatest thing of all. So
and we all win.
Exactly. Children win. Civilization wins.
Oh.
So the next season, he got a move to Italy. He joined AC Milan for £60 million. So something's obviously gone on. I don't know whether he didn't settle in Spain due to the lack of gravy, or I don't know if the severe burns from gunpowder explosion was caused by one of his teammates. But yeah, he moved. And he ended up finishing 4th in the league with them. He scored 22 goals. And I suppose you want to know the good stuff, do you, around his injuries from that time?
Of course.
So, and again, do you think we're going to see any hamstring strains in here? Nope. So, first one, he got a severely burned arm from a cannon blast. Like these cannons, honestly. His second injury, missed 7 games with a broken leg from a fall off a siege ladder. Jesus. This one's a nasty one. Deep lacerations to the face from a bayonet. Oh.
He's all action. What can I tell you?
He's literally at it. Concussion from falling debris. Yeah, that's just I think that might just be due to his living arrangements, like slates falling off his roof or something. And then the last injury was having a severed finger from a sword clash. So yeah, that's that.
He's had a storied career. There's no doubt about it.
He's really been through it. Like, some people would call it quits after his first injury at Sheffield United, a musket ball wound to the shoulder. Like that'd be some people's lives written off. But this guy, he gets a transfer to Real Madrid.
That's it.
Exactly. He's moved to United and Madrid after that.
Yeah, that's it.
Played in a Champions League final.
Did he win that Champions League final?
No, he didn't.
I think that's what triggered him to move. He couldn't stand to stay around losers. So he went to Italy afterwards.
That's it. I mean, you get some people who'll do the cruciate ligament and that'll be it. Like, never the same
Imagine
player.
the amount of gravy you could put in that Champions League trophy.
Fucking hell, that'd be amazing.
Fill it to the rim.
That was his dream when he was a boy.
Ancelotti's just getting a Champions League full of gravy poured over him. Like scalding hot gravy.
This chat GPT reality is better than our reality. There's no doubt about it. I want to go.
It is. It really is. So I think we're going to try and keep that going for next time. So, have you got anybody whose careers you'd like to see done differently, or any suggestions? On those like failed transfers or anything on the wish list? I don't know. Maybe we can have some more fun plotting Jimmy Muir's.
Oh, I think so. That'd be amazing. So we can make the England squad.
Oh, that's a great one, actually. Right.
I'm just wondering that, these big moves and European progress, but no mention of an England call-up. We might need to look into that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I'm making a note of that as we speak.
That would be amazing.
So if Jimmy Moore gets called up to the England squad for the 1998 World Cup in place of Gaza,
Ooh.
Or the Euros. Euro 96. So he was at home.
that's a good shout, actually. Yeah, like him and Gaza doing the dentist chair.
With gravy.
like Gaza's just Jimmy Moore's just scored and like points towards the gravy boat on the floor. Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah. Oh. If you're listening, Jimmy, we do love you. But yeah,
That was amazing.
Right. I think that's enough for this week. We'll try and do a more regular one, but good catching up with you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, thanks for listening. If you actually are listening, and if you are listening, then we will see you next time. And yes, in a bit.